I mean, it is progress that when you say Will Smith, I don't think of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think of our catcher. I mean, we're making steps here. Like, I can't believe I'd ever see the day. But yeah, when you say Will Smith, I think the Dodgers now, which is just nuts. But okay. Pre-show shenanigans kind of broke the internet. Parents' weekend at USC. Will Ferrell, his son, in a fraternity. Quick little side note: Will Ferrell's son is not in the same fraternity that Will Ferrell was in at USC. So, quick disclaimer: some family beef between the Ferrells. I'm not sure how hyped Will was when his son was like, "Oh, I'm not going to your." I forget which frat Will Ferrell was in,
like,
but
I don't know which.
I don't know his kids and Sammy, but I don't know Will Ferrell. Regardless, Will Ferrell, special guest DJ for Sammy. That was probably the most viral frat video I've seen at USC recently.
I think that's the most viral one I've ever. I think that's the most viral one.
Yeah,
I've
actually,
ever
maybe
seen.
ever.
Like, I've never really heard of USC's frats. For as big of alumnus as those frats have, you really don't hear much about them.
Well, it's a good thing that the national media hasn't heard the things going on at USC frats, because they're in a little bit of trouble right now. But
yeah. But I'm just saying, in terms of guests, like social media, yeah.
No, Will Ferrell guest DJing though.
So that begs the question: what are the best possible guest DJs you could have?
Okay, I think
in that same realm,
without doubt, number one is Gronk. Without question, Gronk is number one.
Is Shaq too? Because Shaq is an actual DJ.
Okay, because of that factor,
but then it doesn't count.
Any way Shaq can overtake Gronk? Is there any way? No, right?
Because Shaq's an actual DJ?
Because he's an actual DJ. Is there any way you could overtake Gronk? I don't see the path, but I'm open to debate. You could sell me here if you see a route. But
would Gronk be a better DJ or just a better party,
well, regardless, we're talking more guest. Like, forget the DJ aspect, even though Gronk would be DJ.
This is you're ripping the DJ booth and as a guest, but you're up. This guy's going to be up on the booth.
So I feel like we naturally are going to have to put Shaq above Gronk because of Shaq's skills on the on the decks. Table. But one name I want to float out there, which I don't think you're a big fan of him, but Cody Ko as a joke over the past 6-8 months has became a DJ. And he made this YouTube video, him calling up Dylan Francis, Dylan Francis teaching me how to DJ my first gig. I actually think Cody Ko would be in that top 5. I'm not saying above Gronk or Shaq, but I think Cody Ko would be in the top 5 of a celebrity guest DJ appearance at a frat.
Okay.
Not Shaq or Gronk.
Just a general.
I think he's in that top 5.
Interesting take.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think the general opinion of college students, if we're talking influencers, you can't say a Logan Paul.
No.
People have made up their mind whether they like him or not. But Cody Ko, I would say he's one of the most universally liked.
Nope, I have the number one. I'm
excited.
No doubt.
Okay, no doubt. Better than Shaq and Gronk. Okay.
Adam motherfucking Sandler.
Adam Sandler. I would think so too, to a degree. I wonder what kids 2 years younger than us. So, for us, Adam Sandler's
100%.
I want to say so.
I think not that the current college population, yes, but if it was next year, no.
Because this is a tangent that I've brought up multiple times in the pre-show, but I believe there's a nice little gap between millennials and Gen Z where we're honorary members of the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah. And I do think for us honorary members, Adam Sandler for us is so up here. Adam Sandler, we look at him like our parents look at I don't know, Queen, or what's a universally loved band that every parent likes. Give me a name. You You would know like the Red
Like the
Hot Chili
Foo
Peppers.
Fighters,
Fuck,
the Red
I
Hot
don't.
yeah,
Foo
yeah.
Fighters probably a little bit like Journey. Shit, I don't know. I'm trying to think though.
Because he's like the
Adam Sandler.
Fonz.
That hits for us. I'm curious though, like a couple years below us where it's actual Gen Z, like those are iPad kids. They have Cheeto dust all over that iPad. Like they've been playing cut the rope for months straight now. Those kids,
they don't even know what cut the rope is.
True. Angry Birds, like that's
nope, that's the same. That's
a boomer game.
It's like
damn. I just realized that.
Crossy roads.
Like I would classify some of my younger cousins as iPad kids, and they definitely think I'm a boomer if I bring up like Angry Birds. 100%.
Or Tower Defense. Remember that game?
That's a foreign game to that. I mean, that's so archaic and just like historic. God. Like when they pull that up.
Do you remember
okay, I actually got little kids look at Bloons Tower Defense how we look at Pong. Okay. You know Pong, the original like that's how they look at Bloons Tower Defense.
No,
like,
no. That's Brick Breaker. That's how they look at Brick Breaker.
I actually don't even think they know what that is.
That's how old it is. They might. Do you remember the
Blackberry Brick Breaker? Yes.
Well, yeah, that.
We have a segment on that.
We have a whole segment on that. But it's the OG computer game where it's like the evolution of like people, and you have to like
Snake.
Like, no, it's not Snake. It's literally like we played it all the time.
Age of War.
Yes.
Addicting games. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. Oh my God.
All right, if we want a free TikTok engagement, we just put that music, and it's like POV. The year is 2007. You just got home from kindergarten, like,
dude, that game.
Yeah, we just unlocked a memory right there.
You're hitting it on the chunky iMac too, like the desktop. With the fat mouse.
I'll be honest, I don't think I had a Mac at the time. Like,
I didn't.
I was definitely repping an OG Dell.
You know that when we played it, me, and the unnamed intern had to go to our honorary unnamed intern's house and play it there.
That's true. And I'll be honest, the lighting is getting a little bad on my end, so I'm gonna bring a lamp over. But I'll let you finish this thought. I'll be right back in 1 second. You wrap this Age of War talk up. I'm gonna fix the lighting real quick, but this is all you, man.
It's all me. All right, pressure's on. No, but I that's like the biggest difference in like generation. I say in air quotes, like divide. Like I guess technically 2001, 2002 is still like and 2000 is still like Gen Z. But I guarantee you, anybody who's born after like the year maybe 2003 latest, anybody born after the year 2003 latest has no idea what that is. Has no idea what Age of War is. And if you don't know at a minimum what Age of War is, that's a completely different
generation. There's a clear disconnect between us. If you don't know what that
screw the Black Eyed Peas generation. It's the Age of War generation.
Actually,
I say that as a game, not like literally. Well,
yes, good correction.
Clarify that.
Good correction, Everett. Thank you for that one. Just in case anyone was misled there. But yeah, Age of War. Shout it out. Will Ferrell, shout it out. Will Ferrell getting us to Age of War. Hey,
it's like the Wikipedia. Oh, that's another thing. The Wikipedia game where you go from one thing
to that's a great
to the next one.
That's a great game. Yeah. Another phenomenal game is just Googling Florida man and a random date. Any date you want.
Yeah, it's great.
Start with your birthday and then find random dates. And you can get hours of entertainment. But
ADHD is bad.
I was about to go on another side tangent there, but all right, let's get into this shit. Also, side note, Philly's absolutely rocking the Braves right now. The chop is dead. Rip blooper. It's over. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a pretty disappointing episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 159. Texas is not back. The NFL is rigged for the Chiefs. And Clayton Kershaw's playoff legacy as a choker is officially cemented and set. There is no way to argue on his behalf. It's officially set in stone. Clayton Kershaw, Everett, has a 2.48 career regular season ERA through 2,712 innings.
I don't want to hear this next stat line. Please don't.
However, Clayton Kershaw has a 4.49 ERA through 194 innings in his postseason career. It's set. It's done. Clayton Kershaw in game 1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, who barely snuck into the playoffs, barely got in. Clayton Kershaw was shelled, giving up 6 runs, getting 1 out in the process. He currently has an 162 ERA.
The arguably the worst performance ever by a pitcher.
No, that
in
was
the
that was
playoffs.
his worst performance.
No,
I've ever seen.
I'm saying of any pitcher.
So I would say that. However, the Dodgers did hang 11 runs on the Braves in the first inning of Game 4 of the NLCS
was it the
in
same
2020.
pitcher that pitched that whole inning?
After
how many runs was he pulled?
Definitely not. Let
That's
me
the
see
question.
that.
After how many runs was he pulled? Because if he didn't even record an out, okay, then maybe. And if he had 6 more runs, but remember, Kershaw didn't record an out, 6 runs.
It's true.
So that's what it needs to be worse than.
Well, 1 out.
No, he didn't get
something.
Didn't he? He didn't get
he got just one.
I just erased it from my mind.
Just 1 out. Regardless, though, there's no excuses for that one.
Well, there's one excuse. It's not the full excuse, but James Outman is definitely in a parallel universe. James Outman catches that ball, and it's a 3 and out. It's a 3 and out inning.
So I'd like to be on that side
in a parallel universe.
I'd like to be on that side. The only issue is, in that game, Clayton Kershaw, I believe, he gave up, I think, 9 hits in that inning. All 9 of those hits, or not all 9. 4 of those hits were for over 100 miles an hour, and all the hits were for like over 90.
All I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
I've never seen anything like that.
What I'm saying, James Outman catches that ball.
Agree.
James Outman catches that ball. Those hits don't happen. Don't exist.
Ooh, so to be honest, no, that was what Kershaw did was worse. Kyle Wright for the Atlanta Braves, he gave up 7 runs over 2 outs. He got 2 outs though,
but he did get 2 outs. Yeah,
that's twice as much as Kershaw did.
All right, so I really do hope that Kershaw gets one more chance to pitch, and I'm not saying. I just want, because look, if it's me, you got to be done after this year. You gotta retire.
I know he's really close to 3,000, but I mean after that you can't go through another year.
And he was hurt for most of the season. Like
he's been hurt every year since 2016.
Like you just gotta there's a time when you're getting told to hang it up, and I think that this is it. I just want him to have one last opportunity to kind of be like going out on top. Like that's not the last game that I'm gonna be remembered for, like the last performance I've ever pitched, like something. And I don't care if it's if it's going to be in the World Series, or if the Dodgers are about to get swept versus the Diamondbacks and he's just pitching the last inning. Just let him have one more opportunity just to not have it end like that.
Yeah, it's not a great outlook right now for the team. That was, literally the worst possible start we could ever have to a postseason run.
Now, so we're recording this on Monday night. This will be going up on Tuesday morning. Dodgers obviously
Game 2 has not
played tonight.
Started
Game
yet.
2 has not started yet. Starts in an hour from now. Bobby is on the mound. I have high hopes, but if Dodgers win this, all right, I have hopes, and momentum carrying forward. It is kind of dependent on the bats though over the next 2 games. Yeah. But if this does not go the Dodgers' way, which is what seems to happen in the playoffs half the time,
it's gonna be a weird offseason. A lot of questions, a lot of finger pointing,
It will be a weird offseason, but I also think that if Bobby doesn't win this game, series is done.
Oh yeah,
you need Bobby. And I'm expecting, honestly, I honestly think that Bobby is going to play very well tonight.
I think so too.
It's still on the bats to get runs, because I mean we got 2 runs in the 8th inning. Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, after that start, I mean,
no, obviously, like everything's just kind of torn out of you, but
kind of clean 1, 2, 3 inning from Bobby, and I need Mookie to lead off double. I need it. It
just always seems like the Dodgers bats go ice cold, and that's, I mean, we've talked about that when it comes to not having prep, which really sucks.
Well, one thing I'm thinking about that series last year, San Diego, it's game 4. We're down 2-1 and we give up a late lead. And it's only like a 1 lead or like a 2-run lead. Bottom of the 9th for us, or top of the 9th for us. Who do we have up? Oh, our 1 through 3. Fucking Mookie Betts, Freddie, and Trey. And what do all 3 of them do? They all look up there like they already gave up on the series. They were like, all right, well, we lost. We just gave up the lead. Well, it's over. And they went up there, all 3 of them, just holding their bats, sitting in the box, just striking out. None of them gave a fuck. And I hope that's not what's going to happen tonight. I hope we don't fall over, and just give up.
Now, here's a question for
But
you.
I've seen it too many times.
And you know I love me some James Outman. But if James Outman comes out today and has the errors again, just does not look good in center, you pull him out? You pull him out?
Yeah.
This game, next game?
The bad thing is, though, it's like we need Outman because he provides that lefty hitter in the outfield, and he has been a very good fielder throughout the season. If we take him out, we're going to have to move maybe Mookie back in right, maybe like CT3 in center, like maybe Kike. We're going to have to add in a righty bat.
Well, Kike can play center, so
yeah, it's just he struggles against righty pitching, where Outman, we like that lefty in, have that matchup.
It just depends on the amount of liability.
If he's truly that bad at fielding, then yeah, you're going to have to bench him. But
and we're hoping that's not going to be the case, but things.
Yeah, I think the nerves are out. I think the nerves are out. That just, I mean, James. God. I expect more from my Outman. Expect a little bit more from my
Outman.
I'm
also going to add though, what Bob Costas, relentless towards the Dodgers. Only violence.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's just been a thing. Like, every announcer absolutely hates the Dodgers. Like, I'm convinced to a degree that MLB like really had to promote Joe Davis up because he's the Dodger broadcast show. They're like is less biased if the Dodgers do make it there. Because I mean, Joe Buck would slaughter the Dodgers every single. Like he would. Joe Buck. I don't think I've ever seen a guy be in love with a player Altuve as much as Joe Buck in my life. Like Joe Buck and Jose Altuve. They're locked. They are right there together. But yeah, no, Bob Costas, I mean, not going to call out Bob Costas. Kershaw, that was
no, but it was also when Outman came into play, he was like, yeah, James Outman, not a name you want to see from your starting center fielder. I was like, dude, come on. We're taking pot shots.
Yeah, he added salt to the wound. A little extra. It was a little unnecessary, but I mean, I'll be honest. I turned the audio off at minimum after around the 3rd inning. You know, kept the game on, but I don't want to listen to just this misery just every fucking October, every single fucking happens. But okay. There's any positive light to this team. I like it when this team's doubted. I like it when this team has absolutely no one backing them. Need a little bit of that.
No, I hope Dave Roberts literally played Bob Costas' comments in the locker room
on loop.
Literally, it's the only thing I wanted them hearing over the last day and a half.
But we'll see how the boys respond tonight. I'm hopeful. You know, I want to see it, but I can't lie. After that game 1, that sucked the life out of me. That just killed all my hopes I really had for this postseason. But okay, all right. Let's move on a little bit onto college football. Texas is not back. Oklahoma, what? Okay, let's start with this. What a game-winning drive by Dillon Gabriel. And honestly, the Oklahoma Sooners as a whole, okay, they coached to win the game. They weren't coaching to extend it to overtime. They weren't coaching to stay alive. They were coaching to win. And on that last drive, they could have taken their field goal, played for overtime. But that's not how they approach that final drive. That final drive, you could see from the body language of the team, you could see it from Brent Venables on the sideline. They were coaching and playing to win. They were playing to score a touchdown on that final drive. And that's what they did. March right down the field all over Texas, walk down the field on them. Dillon Gabriel throwing a strike at the end, touchdown Oklahoma, winning this Red River rivalry, which is a tongue twister. Those commentators could not say Red River rivalry over and over. Okay. Stick to Red River shootout. Okay. It's okay. Or at minimum, Red River showdown. Okay. All right. But this was an amazing win for Oklahoma. Okay. I did not see this coming. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought Texas just matched up better. But I was proved wrong. I was wrong. Oklahoma tipped the cap. Brent Venables, respect the fuck out of you for the way you coach that game.
Steve Sarkisian, no respect for you, buddy. Complete mismanagement.
So this is one thing that I want to slightly comment on about Texas. They've had a lot of slow starts. And this time it caught up to them. This time they weren't able to overcome that slow start on offense. My one question, or well, actually, real quick, I'll say this. I don't think Texas is like bad. I still think
no, not at all.
A big threat to win the national championship, and most likely Texas and Oklahoma are going to rematch in the Big 12 championship game. So, hey, tough to beat a team twice. If that matchup does happen, I would probably take Texas to win it. But knowing my record, I'll probably be wrong. So you're welcome, Oklahoma. I will say the last thing about that game, it's going to be really interesting when these teams move to the SEC. I'm really interested to see how Texas, more so how Oklahoma can compete in that SEC, because going into the season, I really did not expect them to turn it around after a 6-7 season last year. But Venables shut me up. Venables proved me wrong. Oklahoma, they're here. Do you have anything on that Texas Oklahoma? Any other thoughts?
My issue is more so just within like the last 2-3 minutes of that game. I think that there are plays on both sides of both teams here and there throughout the entire game that, like were either miscalled or mismanaged, like just general things that you see happen in football games throughout a game. But those last 3 minutes really showed kind of where both teams actually lie, and the coaching for both teams, and seeing what I thought going into those last 3 minutes as two unstoppable offenses, seeing Texas kind of whimper a little bit and play more for a field goal than to take that score lead.
Ice the game to a degree. So
like, all right, I get it. You went for it on like also the play calling on that last play where the last goal line stand that Texas had, where they were on the goal on the one, and they ran 3 run plays and 1 pass play. Like, all right,
and no tush push.
What are we
doing? What are we doing, guys?
Like, come on, like that's a huge miscall for Texas there by Sark, and the defensive play calling through that last minute and 5 seconds, just the whole management by Texas with minute and 5 left, just absolutely abysmal. Like that, they deserve to lose the game for that reason.
Oh yeah. No. It was conservative ball at the end, which, hey, if you're going up against another top team, you gotta go for the win. You gotta
play
take
aggressive.
Your kill shot. You gotta ice it. You can't give them like it's the meme. I'm not gonna let you have the chance. You cannot give Oklahoma the chance of getting back in this game. That's what happened. But I will say Texas, I'm not ruling them out. But Oklahoma, wow. But okay. Quick little thing I wanted to bring up. Notre Dame at Louisville. Notre Dame ended up losing this game by 13 points. Sam Hartman with 3 interceptions in this game. Now, I want to quickly start off by saying, yes, as an Ohio State fan, like, yes, this hurts my team, and, it makes that win over Notre Dame not look as good. I understand. However, I don't care about how my team looks. Notre Dame fans have been so unbelievably obnoxious this year, so unbelievably annoying, that, yeah, I'm really happy Notre Dame lost that one. I know it makes Ohio State look worse, but, that put a big smile on my face watching them lose. Big smile on my face.
Their schedule really doesn't get easier either. They play USC. Well,
USC
actually,
this week.
well,
I say will be their toughest test, but like they got Clemson coming up, they got USC. I believe, if I have this correct.
Hold on. It's not USC. They have Caleb Williams. They don't have USC. It's just Caleb Williams.
True. I mean, Sam Hartman's going to put up the best game of his season against that USC defense this week. But yeah, Notre Dame, I think Sam Hartman I respect a lot, but that Notre Dame offense isn't quite what people were expecting that to be under Sam Hartman. There's still a lot of problems there. Still many questions to be solved there for them. 2 more games. Second to last one before we get to the fun one. Alabama beating Texas A&M 26-20. This is a game that A&M should have won. They had this game in control, and they kind of choked it away a little bit. Alabama is going to be favored by a touchdown or more in every single game for the rest of the season. Okay, the rest of their schedule does not look very difficult. In my opinion, that game between Alabama and A&M determined the winner of the SEC West. Okay, Alabama's going to have a nice little road here. They're going to make it to the SEC championship game. We'll see. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, but yeah, that was their chance to really take them out of the SEC championship competition. But nah, they're going undefeated in SEC conference play this year. They are. And now the last game, Everett, Georgia Tech 23 and Miami 20. So for anyone who didn't see it, Miami had the ball on a 3rd down with around 30 seconds left. Take a knee, game is over, done. But Miami decided to run the ball on 3rd and 10 with 30 seconds left, to which they fumbled and turned the ball over to Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech did go 75 yards in 30 seconds to score, which is, it's not like that one fumble just gave the game away on its own, but it did give away the game on its own.
Yeah, it did, because the defense was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So I want to, I'm not trying to no, I am discrediting Georgia Tech. Yeah, no, Miami lost this game. Yeah, no, Georgia Tech did not win this game. Mario Cristobal, should he have been fired after that, Everett? Because this actually happened in 2018. Oregon was playing Stanford with my boy Herbo at quarterback, and Oregon had a late lead where they could have kneeled it out, but they decided to run the ball. Well, they fumbled, and Stanford ended up winning that game.
I'm not entirely sure how credible this is, but I did see that apparently Mario Cristobal hasn't kneeled this entire season.
I did not know that, but have they not installed victory formation? Probably the easiest formation to install.
I don't know if they think that it exists.
Yeah, I don't think Cristobal knows what a knee is. No idea. He definitely doesn't know. But fireable offense, I have an opinion on it, but
with the way Miami has been playing under Mario Cristobal since he's arrived.
Yeah, well, 2-part. Last season was awful. This season's been much better. But I would say a big reason of that is because he got rid of Josh Gaddis, who for some reason has convinced college football head coaches that he's a good offensive coordinator.
I think that if this season was like last season and he did that shit, gone.
I
think that because it's not, I don't think he's gone, but I do think the AD, if I'm the AD, I'm like,
we're having a sit down.
Dude,
we're having a lunch on Sunday.
If I see some bullshit like this happen again, your ass is out that fucking door.
So the one thing I want to say, Miami, it was a really big recruiting weekend for them too. Okay, they had a lot of top recruits in for that game. One of them being Jeremiah Smith, the number 1 player in the country, wide receiver, currently committed to Ohio State. Now, that game just confirmed Jeremiah Smith will not be going to Miami, but surprisingly enough, Miami actually picked up a 5-star or not 5-star, but a top 10 wide receiver in the class, Nye Carr, after that game. So one thing I will say, Miami recruiting is back. Okay. Like they are recruiting really, really well right now. So the Cristobal firing, maybe not necessarily, but that's as worse as a loss as you could possibly get in college football, where you literally gave the game away. You legitimately gave them the win. It's just nuts. It's ridiculous.
I just like, even in no world does that make sense where you wouldn't knee it because the time runs out. And if it doesn't run out, you pooch punt.
Well, yeah, well that as well, but it's like there
was
no scenario where they even had to punt. The game was done.
I think there would have been. I think there would have been 1 second on the clock.
No, they were in the 30s.
Oh,
would have been done.
Well, the other thing though that is an actual play is when when it is 4th down, there's like 3 seconds left or something. The Vikings have done this where the quarterback takes the snap, will run
and
back,
just runs
like
back
10,
like the throwback Ravens 49ers Super Bowl.
They'll literally run back like 20 yards and then heave it out of bounds.
Oh, that too. I mean, that's actually fucking genius. that's good shit right there. I was thinking of the Harbaugh Super Bowl where
you go out
last
of
play of the game, the Ravens punter was just holding on to it like they were taking a safety on the play. They were just burning clock. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like I was thinking of something like that, but regardless, there's no.
Honestly, they could have taken
excuses.
a safety on the play and.
Well, they were on the other team's 25.
I
mean,
all the way back. You sprint backwards.
Absolutely nothing made sense. Like absolutely nothing made sense there. But yeah, okay. I'll give my rankings real quick. I already upload them, but I'll just say them. We'll go 1 to 10. Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State, Florida State, Oklahoma, Penn State, Oregon, Washington, Texas, and I have USC in there.
I think I'm going to give that out of there.
I think I'm going to give it to Alabama. I think Alabama's the 10 team.
Wait,
well, who else would it be?
Hold on, repeat your 1 and 9.
Who else would it be?
Who's your 1 and 9? Repeat it.
My 1 through 9 or 1 and
1 to 9. 1 to 9.
Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State, Florida State, Oklahoma, Penn State, Oregon, Washington, Texas.
Yeah, I guess.
What might be another name we could float out there? I'm open. I'm open right now.
Yeah. I gotta hold on.
I'm open to growth.
Okay. All right.
Louisville? They're undefeated?
Not a 10. Not a 10.
North Carolina, they're undefeated.
That's a name.
1 loss Ole Miss.
Over USC. Yeah.
And Bama.
Bama's got a loss, right?
Yeah, to Texas.
Yeah. So I would put them at least over Bama.
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Alabama beat Ole Miss this year 24 to 10. So personally, I'd put Alabama over Ole Miss, but
I thought Ole Miss was still undefeated. That's my bad.
Anyway, I'm pretty set on my rankings right there. I like it. Notre Dame. Wow, way to fuck it up, Notre Dame. Nice. The one time I respect
you. Put Penn State in there, right? You put Penn State?
Of course. Okay. I'm terrified of Penn State. I was going to bring up the Ohio State little... Okay, fuck it. We'll do that. Quick little preview for Ohio State, Penn State in 2 weeks. After seeing Ohio State for 5 games, the offense is not good. Offense is not good. It is really, really stagnant, really poor. And the reason why I'd say it's so poor is, yes, Kyle McCord is not an elite talent, win you the game on his own. That is true. But this offensive line can't double team. We can't get to the second. We can't get to a linebacker. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And Justin Fry, you gotta figure this shit out, dog. You gotta figure this shit out, because at UCLA they could double to the linebacker. You got better recruits now at Ohio State. Why can we not do it anymore? It does not make sense. Double teaming to the linebacker is literally day one shit. Like literally, that's the first thing you go over as a lineman. Okay. Regardless, that Penn State game, I mean, for Ohio State to win that game, we need defense bailouts. I'm talking pick sixes. I'm talking fumbles, and I'm not very confident in our ability to get those. So I'm not excited. I'm not even going to address the Michigan game. Okay. Heisman watch. I'm going to go 1 through 10. Yeah, we'll go 1 through 10 because Caleb's still my number 1. But as time goes on, the bias for Caleb repeat is here. And Caleb, although like passing wise, one of his greatest performance over the weekend, he was one man arming by himself at the end of the game to win that game, but it was Arizona. Still have him as my number one though, but okay, 1 to 10. Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, Jordan Travis, Quinn Ewers, Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, Drake May, and JJ McCarthy. I wanted to get Marvin here. I wanted to toss Marvin, but I left Marv out because in his biggest game of the year, he did get hurt, but biggest game of the year puts up like 20 yards. And you know, when it comes to the Heisman, people aren't actually watching these games. You just check the stats. So Marv isn't going to win the Heisman this year, so I'm not throwing him in.
Fair. It's fair. It doesn't sound like it changed too much from last week.
Nothing crazy. Quinn Ewers did drop. I tossed in Bowers, put in May. Dylan Gabriel moved up, but not any crazy changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. NFL. We're gonna start this off with a segment. We're gonna call it conspiracy theories. All right. If our editor had the time, he would throw in the dude with the crazy hair, the alien guy, being like,
"Oh yes,
but
yes.
that's not going to
I know
happen."
exactly what you're talking.
But it's not going to happen. So you can think about that.
Yeah, you
can think about that. Yeah. So the conspiracy here is that the NFL is rigged for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, over the past 2 weeks, things have looked extremely favorable for the Chiefs when it comes to
one way of putting it.
Yeah,
one way of putting it. Yeah.
So we're gonna get into this. All right. Here's the deal. Right now, the Chiefs are the least benefited team from penalties. Right. So that means other teams are getting the Chiefs are getting flagged versus other teams, and when the other teams play the Chiefs, those teams are not getting flagged. Okay.
Yes.
So, and what I'm going to read my text to you verbatim right now.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to read it.
That was actually a great little excerpt right there. So,
yeah. So this is what I said. Right now, the Chiefs are the team that have benefited the least from penalties in the NFL, meaning that teams have been flagged less when playing them and or have been flagged for a total less yards. All right. But what if the NFL is intentionally telling the refs to not flag other teams until clutch moments in the game? That way it benefits the Chiefs, and they can argue that they aren't favoring the Chiefs by statistics. So
this, yes.
What we're saying is the Chiefs are the team that have benefited the least from flags. Okay.
True.
But the NFL is literally saying to not have the Chiefs get these flags until crucial moments. So that way, when people are like, hey, you guys are biased toward the Chiefs, they'd be like, no, we're not. Look at the stats. They're not getting any flags. But in reality, they're getting flags whenever it actually matters in the game and is a game-changing moment. Talk about helmets coming off and the refs telling them to put the helmets back on, talking about missed DPIs.
I genuinely have never seen in my life. I have never seen that in my life.
Catch this game, a catch that was clearly out of bounds because possession is not maintained when you touch the ball first, which is when they ruled that the catch was inbounds. Has to, you have to have possession. And then you want to remind me what happened last week in the Jets game, to end the game?
Yes. So at the end of the game between the Chiefs and the Jets, it was a 3rd and 22, I believe, where the ref waited to throw the flag until the ball was intercepted. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
I almost forgot for a second.
Almost forgot. Yeah. So the NFL is, I'm just saying, if you don't hear from the Water Boys in like the next 2 days, Roger Goodell may have, taken out the trash.
Yeah. So I've, as this progressed, I've noticed my lighting is getting very, very dark right now. But that kind of reflects the mood perfectly of this NFL segment, because this is the shadow and cloud that has been cast over me as one of 17 Chargers fans on the planet. So I've been calling this shit out since Tom Brady left the AFC. Okay. Since D Ford lined up off sides and gave away the fucking AFC Championship game to Tom Brady and the Patriots. Since that day, I don't think the Chiefs have gotten screwed over by a call since. Maybe 2020 Super Bowl, Chiefs didn't get screwed by the Bucks. The Bucks just beat them.
The Bucks also had Tom Brady.
Yes, that is another caveat. So, but now that Brady, we think, is officially retired, we think, can never be too certain. Now it's all Mahomes. You will get every single call for as long as he's in the NFL. It's going to be awful. It's going to be atrocious. And as you can barely see me right now, that's a perfect representation of the future of the NFL, because it's all going to be dark and gloomy. Chiefs winning every year, and you're all going to hate it. So get used to it, folks.
I'm just going to say, like, I will accept arguments where it's like, okay, like
I'm going to slightly change the lighting, but go. Bear with me for a second.
To start the season, you know, the Chiefs like weren't getting any calls their way, like whatever. Okay.
I think they purposely set up narratives at the start of the season with Jawan Taylor.
There's a marginal difference. Well, no, the whole thing was that very first game, they weren't calling Jawan Taylor's false starts, and then they got charged.
They're now calling him, like,
which they did not. Nope, they did not versus the Vikings when he was false starting all the time. They didn't do that. They did not. No.
What were all the penalties that the Chiefs were getting? Because I saw that they had like 10 penalties for 100+ yards.
The Chiefs had penalties on them
for your game.
For my game. There was an offsides penalty. There was like,
you can't debate that one.
I didn't get to watch like the first quarter of the game, so I really don't know. I think there was some offside penalties. There was holding, like, but I don't really think there was any false starts.
Forget the point I was trying to make. The bigger point is when the game's on the line and the calls actually matter, every single time they get it. Every single time they get it. Like, when Patrick Mahomes was describing it, where like, I mean, I saw, and Sauce was a little wrapped around Marquez Valdes-Scantling in that.
But they were both
scenario.
Playing each other. And there was a call previously in the game where
that's the consistency throughout the game. That wasn't called beforehand. They only called it in the most critical moment when it mattered the most. Then they call it. It's shit like that where it's lack of consistency. It's just like, this is ridiculous.
It honestly makes sense to me to be like, all right, we all know that obviously it's a business. Okay. So certain teams are going to make the NFL more profitable. And I get that. All right.
Yes.
But the integrity of the game kind of being ran like that is a large issue. And that's why we say, obviously it's a conspiracy, but it makes sense to me to have your team that is the darling of the NFL be like, hey, it's a cover up. Essentially, they're covering up the fact that they're having these refs be biased towards the Chiefs and make these calls that kind of give them the game if it's close, and be like, hey, that's not happening because look at all these calls. They haven't benefited from anything. They're not getting the yards. In fact, they're getting called for penalties more than they're actually getting penalties.
Yeah.
And they're like, so that can't be the case. That's bullshit. All right. You can have teams be favored and them statistically look poor. Like, it's just how things have always been. That's how businesses work.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not like these two things are like obvious, clear, this confirms it, but the ref waiting to throw that flag until the ball is intercepted is so sus. But also, that ref going up to Snead and telling him helmet back on, I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen a ref actually helping out a player ever.
And
ever.
Obviously,
I've never seen that ever.
The Vikings, we have perpetually been just hosed by referees.
You do consistently get hosed.
It is very consistent to a point where I really don't did have like the fucking Vikings like murdered somebody's like family members? Like, I don't know what
maybe your owner has serious beef with the Chiefs owner.
No,
okay.
I mean,
that's
maybe
the only explanation.
Maybe the fucking Vikings owners like have a marginal problem with like the head referee, whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah, it's deplorable. It's deplorable. Like, come on. I've never seen anything. I've watched a ref literally body a Vikings player to give them a touchdown. And this was worse than that. And what did I say last week? I was like, I can't
we've
watch
watched Angel Hernandez live.
And I know,
Okay.
but what I said last week was like, I don't know if I can watch this game because of how favorable the refs' calls are going to be. Little did I know, I was about to watch the most heinous fucking demonstration.
I was not joking when I said you thought the Commanders was cute last year. I was not kidding.
Like, oh my God.
Know, it's bad. It's awful. It's actually, it is a problem that the league has. Now, players.
Well, no, not a problem for the league. It's just.
Well,
it's a problem.
To a degree, it's a problem for the league. I mean, revenue-wise, business outlook, no. But I mean, it is like
But by the way, that plus the shit they did on social media last week, the Chiefs are like on their profile on like the
bio
on their bio, they're like, yeah, the Chiefs are 2-0 with Taylor as like Swifties. And then
I was calling for the removal of the sleeper app off of the App Store when they changed Travis Kelce's picture to Taylor. So
like I get it that like, all right, sleeper, okay, like I get that.
Yeah, and sleeper. I'm kidding about that.
But also like sleeper is its own thing. For the NFL to do that and to blatantly state, hey, Chiefs are 2-0 since this has happened, and to have bullshit calls happening, and then this happened this week right after that, like. This seems almost like a game of cat and mouse. It's like, hey, we're making it really obvious, but you can't do anything about it. It's like, you know, when it's like the criminals like leave little notes and hints for detectives to put together and be like, that's what this is.
Are you saying that they're kind of like the Zodiac killer? They're leaving a little they want to mess with the cops a little bit.
Roger Goodell might be playing some games over there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a murder mystery.
This is a murder mystery. Is that the new title of this episode?
BuzzFeed Unsolved. We got you a new series. We got you a new season.
Is that is that the title of this episode? Is Roger Goodell is the Zodiac?
I mean, do we have evidence that he isn't? Where was he when those events took place? I don't know.
I don't know.
He wasn't alive, but fuck it. For the sake of the fun of this, let's just say he was. We gotta look into that. And Rob Manfred. He's not off the hook either. But okay. I apologize you had to go through that, Everett. It's fucking it's awful. But there are many other games you got to go over real quick. I want to say, Everett, Matt Eberflus is safe. And I was fucking up my things last week. I put myself in a mental pretzel.
Which is probably why he won.
This was good for you. Matt Eberflus will be. So the Bears have never fired a coach midseason in their 100-whatever-year history. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Eberflus probably going to stay on board. And I do think the Bears are going to lose every single game for the rest of the season. I do think
I actually counter argue that. I think that the Bears are more likely to win games with Eberflus than they are to lose. And that was the whole argument that we made last week that I made when you were fucking it up, because I was like, hey, you know,
well, so that was the yes.
Matt Eberflus might get fired, so the team's going to play harder. And I don't think that he's necessarily out.
Well, I wasn't even saying that. I just Eberflus is so awful.
I agree. I think that he's a terrible fucking coach, but I do think that the team is more likely to win with him there. And I will also add the offense has looked marginally better over the last 2 weeks. They play the Vikings next week.
They have been playing some bad defenses though.
They play the Vikings next week. Another bad defense, technically.
I mean, it's gonna be a great win for you. It'll be fun.
Well,
it's gonna be a fun.
Everett,
you're gonna win.
Let me finish. Hey, you're not the Vikings fan here. I don't want to hear shit from you.
Oh,
all right?
Shit. I actually feel like you have reminded me for some reason. Like
we lose to the Bears at least one time every fucking year. Sometimes two. Sometimes two if it's an important game and they're at the end of the season.
Stop. Don't say that shit. Can't jinx yourself saying that.
I'm not jinxing myself. I'm just stating what has happened. There's no jinxing if it's history. All right.
Okay. Well, I'll jinx them. The Bears are going to go 2-0 against the Minnesota Vikings this year.
No. The Vikings are going to go 2-0. You need to say the Vikings are going to go 2-0.
No, then I'm jinxing you.
No. I need the Bears to win the games. They cannot have Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. The Vikings, we can recover.
Wait. If I'm following along here, are you telling me you want to lose this game so the Bears you have?
Well, it's strategy. It's all chess. All right. Vikings right now.
Lay this out for me.
We're 1-4. Okay.
True.
Stretch rest of the schedule. Okay. Let's look at the rest of the schedule here. Okay.
Okay.
We play the Bears.
Read the fuck out of the schedule for me. I want you to read the fuck out of the schedule. Okay.
Bears next week.
Okay.
49ers.
Where?
In Chicago, at home versus 49ers. In Green Bay. In Atlanta. Home versus New Orleans. At Denver. Home versus Chicago. At Las Vegas. At Cincinnati. Home versus Detroit. Home versus Green Bay. At Detroit to end the year. Okay.
I kind of hate that. You guys have Detroit both in the last 3 weeks of the season. I hate that.
It's fucking stupid. Regardless, all right. We already know they're losing the 49ers. Okay. Not going to argue on that one. All right. I love my Vikings. I love the team. The 49ers are fucking disgusting.
They're a wagon.
Yeah. And I've said this before. The Vikings are going to be in every single game, but they're always going to be one play away from winning every single game.
Actually, this is a bigger debate. Will the Niners ever lose our number one spot in the power rankings for the rest of the year?
If they lose if they lose to like the Chiefs or the Eagles or some team that's already up there, yeah.
Okay.
But look, all right. Let's say you lose the Chicago games and the 49ers games. That puts you at 7 losses. You clean the slate on the rest of these games. You have 9 wins. 9-7 or 8-7. Would it be 8-9?
I wasn't quite following along with all the math there. So
9-8. I think that's what you go. 9-8 because that's the new 8 with 18th game.
Adds up to 7. Yes, that checks out.
So
yes.
I don't think that it's out of the question. Hey, strategy here. Let's not let the Bears get these picks. Can still win. You know, I think that the Vikings are going to end up splitting that. I think that the Bears will take one, the Vikings will take one, but.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, big win for the Bears. They had to do it for butt kiss. But okay, some other things I want to move over and say. Ravens Steelers. Okay, the Steelers ended up winning this game.
I don't love mid.
And last second, Kenny Pickett. It's a crucial play. It's the touchdown that ended up winning the game, but Kenny Pickett, right before the snap, makes a quick hot call, line of the scrimmage. I forget the word it was. It was a very funny term that
I don't know.
I forget what it was, but he changed the play at the line of scrimmage, to which they audibled into a pass, a George Pickens little fade route, one-on-one, no safety help, touchdown, burns the corner, and they have footage of Matt Canada in the press box while the play unfolded. And let's just say Matt Canada looked like a deer in headlights. Matt Canada was sitting there like, wait, Kenny's changing the play. I didn't call this. He was sitting there seeing the touchdown and he didn't celebrate because he was sitting there like, oh, that works. I didn't call that. I can't really take credit for this touchdown.
If I'm him, I'm like, I think that he was like, I might get fired. Like,
yeah, that might be it. A better play caller.
That might be it. Like, because that game was like the whole stadium was like fire.
Every Steeler fan, they were booing them throughout the whole game. Every Steeler fan on Twitter, shout out Jersey Jerry. I mean, he was calling for Canada's head.
And I think that the last thing, the nail, like for that game being, I call this, and my quarterback was like, no, dude, fuck that. And it actually
that's how they win the game. He checks out of your call. I mean,
also, I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but Byron Leftwich, old offensive coordinator,
yes,
reached out to the Steelers asking about positions. Haven't heard back yet. Fucking stupid ass Steelers. But Matt Canada is like the Alex Grinch in the NFL.
Dude, Matt Canada is awful. I have no idea how he's employed. I have absolutely no idea. Okay.
Let the 5-year-old who plays Madden, put some stuff together.
It's just like, that offense is genuinely the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like Matt Canada, oh my God, you are telling me that anything is possible. Okay. It's the Kevin Garnett meme. Okay. Anything is possible. Matt Canada is proving that. Okay.
Okay.
There is one more thing I want to bring up, especially Bengals Cardinals. Just the week after, well, also I didn't bring this up last week, but we have a diva watch. Okay. It's been a while since we've had a diva wide receiver in the NFL. Okay. AB's been out of the league for a minute. Okay.
Slow your roll a little bit. All right.
Well, right now, I will list the top receivers in the NFL. And there's only one where I'd consider diva. And that's not even fully locked in, ready yet. So Justin Jefferson, not a diva. Maybe you have a different opinion now, but I would say not a diva. So Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Right. We don't even need to debate that one. He's definitely not a diva. Devontae Adams. Would you say he's a diva? You probably better than me, but it's not AB diva. Okay. It's not like TO diva. Okay. We're not talking that. You name another wide receiver that top one. Stephon Diggs. Diva.
Yeah.
That is true. Diva. But
Tyreek, not a diva.
We'll count
AJ
Kelsey.
Brown. AJ Brown, diva. 100% a diva.
Now we're starting to see it. Yes.
Yeah. George Pickens.
I would say he's on diva.
He's on diva watch.
It's. I need to see him score a little more though to really earn the right to be a diva. But he has Matt Canada, so like the fact that he even has any catches is beyond impressive.
CeeDee Lamb, not a diva.
Garrett,
Mike Evans,
no. Kind of
moderate diva
against the Saints. Yes, yes. But Jamar Chase was the man I was looking at. Jamar Chase. Last week after the game, Jamar Chase said, and I quote, "I'm open. I'm always fucking open." So Joe Burrow said, "All right, I heard you, dog. I heard you." And also Jamar Chase, right when Burrow had his injury before the season began, Jamar Chase said, "As long as you're back for week 5, man." Like Jamar Chase knew Burrow was hurt. Okay. It seems to me that Jamar Chase actually might have been a little mad that Burrow played those first 4 weeks of the season. We can see what happened over the first 4 weeks. But Joe Burrow said, "Hold my beer, Everett." And Jamar Chase went 15, 192, and 3 touchdowns on 19 targets. I mean, all right, Bengals are back. The offense, Joe Burrow's back. Jamar Chase is back. Burrow, we'll see. Still a verdict out on that.
There needs to be some consistency there. If he does it again next week, then yeah.
Well, one thing that I thought is kind of an underrated aspect of Burrow's game that I really appreciate is his pocket mobility. Now, I'm not saying he's scrambling and running around, but the mobility, being able to maneuver the pocket, make throws on the run, complete passes, extend plays. Joe Burrow is not running much with his injury right now.
Yeah.
He's sitting there taking hits. Not going great. Fraud alert on Burrow. Damn it. He's not back, Everett. Fuck.
We really at some point need to actually we do actually need to go back.
I gotta call up the head of this fire
all the fraud alerts and see how many times it's hit.
Who is this guy?
All right, the last thing that I want to talk about, the same game, but 2 different things, both about the same position. Okay. But for the 2 different teams.
I have no idea what this game could be because there's 3 on my head that I think you could pick, but we'll see. It's probably going to be Cowboys Niners, but I have a feeling you might surprise me and pick a different one. But okay, let's see.
We said multiple times in multiple TikToks, on multiple episodes, third parties, guests coming in talking about it. Tajay motherfucking Spears is a wagon.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
We said, and I said specifically, all right, obviously I'm biased if you're watching this. All right. I have a Tulane flag back here, right?
No, you're not biased. What?
You know, I maybe I've got 2 rings from winning the Cotton Bowl and the AAC
right,
championship.
Okay, now shut the fuck up. All right.
But I said, Tajay Spears steal the draft. He is going to make or break a team. Nobody fucking believed me. Everyone was like, "This kid's
not a single person."
Everyone was like, "This kid's a fucking dumbass. What the fuck are you talking about?" This is what I'm talking about. This is Tajay Spears. This is what he has done, what he always does, and what he will continue doing. That's not Derrick Henry's backfield anymore. It's Tajay motherfucking Spears' backfield. All right.
Yeah, I mean Tajay. What a performance out of him! That touchdown run, gave me goosebumps.
It's disgusting.
Down my
the things he does is absolutely foul.
But get ready. We're getting ready for takeoff. It's happening soon, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for takeoff here. Air.
Oh yeah, these are
ready.
just test flights.
Yeah, bro. These are just little learning steps, little bumps in the road. Getting ready. We haven't even taken off yet. Okay, the plane. We have not left the runway. Okay, we are still on the runway, folks. We have not taken off. Get ready. It's happening.
The other side of this, the position group, the Colts. The fuck are you doing re-signing Jonathan Taylor?
Wait, okay.
Zach Moss dropping 133 yards.
I did not even have this written down.
Are we going to? What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, this is my take on it. So my first thought when I saw the detail of the contracts, 3-year deal beginning next season, which perfectly lines up with Anthony Richardson's rookie contract. So the way I looked at it, when I look at Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor, the two together on the field can really, really help Anthony Richardson's development. Having a running back, having that option where defenses need to focus on JT. They need to. Like if the focus is on AR-15 contain, well, JT's running rampant. We saw what Zach Moss just did. Imagine Jonathan Taylor at the end of the season broken in. Now, another thing I wanted to say, as a Jonathan Taylor dynasty owner, was I very upset about that game? Yes. Did I happen to lose in fantasy to the person playing Zach Moss by about 20 points? Yes. So if Jonathan Taylor just had those snaps, would I have won easily? Yes. But that's not the point of this, guys. It's the outlook of knowing what Jonathan Taylor and that Colts rushing game, or more so what the Colts running game can be with Jonathan Taylor.
I'm just saying,
with an AR-15 injury, might slow down the run game a little bit.
I'm just saying, though, it's a really fucking stupid decision for the Colts to make that call to re-sign him right now, given the fact
it was so interesting
productive Zach Moss has been. Zach Moss has looked like a RB1 for the Colts for the time that he has been the designated
100%.
Starter.
100%.
He has produced the same stuff that Jonathan Taylor has been. So to re-sign all that, like, doesn't make sense to me. And I know Jonathan Taylor's like, well, look at like the dynamic duo, me and Zach Moss. Like, we know that the moment that happens, you're going to start bitching about how Zach Moss is splitting carries with you. He's like, come on. I don't want to hear that. That's some cap. All right.
So yeah, now Zach Moss is about 40 rushing yards away from breaking his single season total for rushing yards. Okay. So he's about to break his career high. I'm going to assume next week, especially if AR-15 is not playing, they're not going to run out Taylor next week. I mean,
all right. So I got two things. And then we can wrap up with your in-season wish list.
And it's for the Steelers.
So all injury related and all related to my dynasty team, which season has come to an abrupt end. Which is really unfortunate because I was the only undefeated team.
I mean, that was the greatest start I've ever seen. The start you had, I was sitting there, I was like,
yeah, I was going to go all the way. I cannot believe it. I was going to do it. And now Justin Jefferson is most likely out next week, as confirmed by Ian Rappaport. It is extremely doubtful that he plays. Anthony Richardson has a grade 3 AC joint sprain. He's probably going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, might go on IR. Javonte Williams is out. Tank Dell has a concussion.
Is Gibbs? What's up with Gibbs?
Oh, yeah. Gibbs has a knee issue. Yeah, my season is over. My season's over. I have to rely on Sam Howell and CJ Stroud. The
Alabama, I mean, Howell could get it done.
Yeah, the only issue is they have different bye weeks. Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna add some forks in the road.
My running backs kind of average less than 10 points each.
I just realized I have Gardner Minshew on my team.
Yeah, I'm not trading for him, though.
I wasn't expecting you to, but I just realized I have a temporary QB3. But
yeah, see, the other thing is, so I did the math. All right, I've built up enough.
You have a great lead. I mean, you got a very solid fucking standing right now.
Yeah. So if let's say 5 weeks, all right, 10 losses. So I'm not going to win either. Puts me at 8-12. All right. I get 4 more weeks or not. I don't think it's like 5 weeks. All right. I think it's like 4 weeks. All right. So 8. So 8-10. All right.
Okay.
Then I'll get another
dog.
6 weeks, I think. 12 wins. So I could still go 20-10, make the playoffs. Not out of the question. The question is where's my draft pick going to be? Because
we'll see. We'll see.
If my team is worse than the worst teams in the league with everybody out,
you have those wins to start.
Yeah. So I have 8 games on them. So my draft pick is just.
I see your dilemma here. Now, for me as a man without a first round pick, don't need to deal with that shit. So, it's different.
I'm actually so mad.
I
was 8-0 going into this week. All right. We play with Median. I dropped 80 points in this league because of all the injuries that happened to me. And I still could have won if I started Sam Howell over Anthony Richardson, by the way, which is the worst part of it. But my 2 losses versus my opponent in the median this week are because of the fact that I had injuries. Otherwise, I could have been 10-0, and I'm upset.
Remember, it's luck. It's a luck game. Fantasy's a random thing. It's a random thing, but okay. Let's move on to this back ladder half of the episode here. Okay, I got
back ladder half. Have we not been in the back ladder half?
Just the clips for the last 5 minutes. But okay, I got. What do you got?
Well, so if we already have the Chiefs and we have your Heisman rankings, all we need is this. All we need is your in season. I have an in season as well, but I'm going to save it for the next episode.
But no NFL power rankings, anything like that. No,
I can't do it. It's a Monday night game right now. I have to wait.
Okay, all right. Steelers in season wish list. I tried not to go too heavy on like the offense, but I mean it's a little hard not to. But okay, all right. Steelers in season wish list. Leave Matt Canada on the tarmac. Lane Kiffin him. Start Broderick Jones for the rest of the season. Hope that Joey Porter Jr. keeps on playing well and start him. Hope that Deontay Johnson comes back this week. But in the meantime, throw the ball to George Pickens. So, I mean, Matt Canada leaving. I don't care. Matt Patricia, we'll take it. We'll take him as OC. Actually, I don't know.
I wouldn't say that.
Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one.
But well, let Kenny call the plays. It seems like he can do it well enough.
Anyone other than Canada and Patricia, I will take as OC with prior experience. So that short list is not as long as those. You get the point. Okay. Matt Canada is so awful. It boggles my mind how poorly ran that Steelers offense is. It makes no sense to me. I don't know how he's still employed. I would expect Tomlin to just take one look at the tape from last year and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you would think Tomlin would be a lot more strict about these things than he is right now. He's kind of taking a Bill Belichick approach to it, and I don't understand what the fuck happened. Like what has happened in the last couple of years where Mike Tomlin's kind of gotten a little, I'm not going to say soft because he might come and find me and fucking do some things, but
I'm not going to call him soft. But interesting decision there, keeping Canada on staff after last 2 seasons as OC. But yeah, that's my Steelers in season wish list. I've been really, Joey Porter Jr. when targeted. Guess what his quarterback rating is when targeted this season?
32.
0.0.
Hey, good for him.
Now, he's not starting because your guy, Patrick Peterson's starting.
He sucks. He's so bad. Oh, my God. So stupid for them to sign. All right. This Dodgers game starts up in 5 minutes. The boys got to lock the fuck in. With that, pray for us. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5-star. Well, you don't have to pray for us because the game will already be over. But pray for the Dodgers going forward.
Technically, the series won't be over even after this game. But.
You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and on Twitter at WaterboyPod. We post every Tuesday and Thursday new episodes on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. We know new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday. I definitely don't want to miss this next week's set of episodes. We're gonna have some bangers. I'm going on a little trip. I'm not gonna say where. Let's say for next episode. And
USC Notre Dame recap.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making the trip to South Bend, but for the sake of the podcast, I am making the trip.
And the unnamed intern is revealing himself.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not.
Well, that one we were actually supposed to keep a secret. But
yeah, no, he's not. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow me and Grant at Everett Stakes and at Waterboy Grant on Twitter, and we'll see you in the next episode. Waterboy's out.